get why it's called a trip now. When I say I'm drunk, you know I mean on alcohol. And when I say I'm stoned, you know I mean on weed. And when I say I'm rolling, you know I'm on MDMA. But why is it when I say I'm tripping, you know I mean acid, shrooms, or some psychedelic? Some say that it comes from the word tryptamine, which is a class of psychedelics. Some people think that it comes from the feeling of tripping over your thoughts, trying to regain balance there. And why do we say tripping balls? Well, You the Colors Duke on Reddit explained this. It actually comes from tripping sack, which is basically a reference to Sacagawea. This reference is derived from the idea that Sacagawea led the explorers to uncharted lands and acted as their guide, just as psychedelics are the guide for you in your new world. Just kidding, I have no idea why it's called tripping balls. Tripping balls just means that you're tripping really hard, that you're heavily under the influence of a psychedelic drug. So then why the word trip? Well, this is why I think it is called tripping. First of all, you have to prepare for a trip, so you decide, either plan ahead in advance, sometimes spontaneously, that you're going to trip. Maybe with others, which requires even more coordination, or maybe alone. Either way, you have to gather the things you'll want or need for the trip before you're unable to do so. Water, fruit, bubbles, earphones, journal, that sort of thing. The night and hours before a trip, you're chilling in your familiar surroundings, the calm before the storm, imagining the journey ahead of you, intoxicated by wanderlust, wondering how different these familiar surroundings will be when you get back, how different you will be. Then it's time to leave this realm, board the plane. Once you're strapped in, it's a commitment that's not easy to back out of. Buy the ticket, take the ride, as they say. The trip begins, or did it begin when you decided you were going to trip? But this movement, this come up feels like the point of no return. Your stomach turns as nausea hits. You pray the plane doesn't crash. After all, isn't takeoff one of the most dangerous parts of a plane ride? Some turbulence threatens your sense of equilibrium. Depending on the dose, this part of the trip is short, and before you know it, you're out the gates hailing a taxi. But on higher doses, this can be quite long, as you travel across time zones, and who knows whether it's night or day with the windows of the plane down, you enter some other dimension where time doesn't exist the same way. All there is to do is ride it out and wait. Then you are back on land, but a different land, a foreign land, but also a familiar one. Have you been here before? In your childhood maybe, or a dream? It's almost like you never left. There seems to be some resemblance to the same rules and social norms, but some things don't make sense, especially when you go to a place where you don't even speak the language. You'll need to readjust and learn how to live here. Now you're free to explore this new world, free of any obligations of your past life, of school and work. The days blend together. Is it Wednesday or Saturday? Your sense of time slows with each new experience. You try some new food, you listen to new music, you meet new people. The world is bigger than your hometown. There are other countries and other cities in those countries and other people in those cities. And these people are different, but they are also so similar to you. They laugh and cry and are afraid of the same things. But there is no other. It is only us on this planet and this world, and perhaps something more beyond this world. And then there's a new experience, a scary one. You don't want to do it. You're afraid to face your fears. And then somehow you do it. You get through it. And you learn that you're strong, that you will be okay. In this new world, from this new perspective, your problems you left behind seem more manageable than they did before. And now the trip is ending. That nagging, tugging back to your normal life. The countdown until it's time to leave. Time to say goodbye. Tears and hugs, you vow to return again. But it's back to the time warp plane. Down you descend, back home. Or what you call home anyway. Home looks the same, but different. You're the same, but different. Exhausted, but fulfilled, you get some rest, or try to, depending on your jet lag. Was it all a dream? You look at some photos you took. You read your journal. It happened. It's all a blur right now, but you remember. I can't fucking drink. My neighbors must be like, what is she doing?